Hello and welcome to the GLHF YouTube channel. My name is Dave Aubrey, as usual, and I'm here with Ryan Woodrow.
Hey.
Should have prepared an intro.
What? Okay. Next, you should have told me that before, and then I would have.
Yeah, well, you know, I thought you always had one prepared. I thought you had a list, and here we are.
I didn't pull up my list.
Yeah. You're always forgetful.
I might
it's
delete.
okay.
I might delete the list. I'll be honest with you.
Oh my god. You know what? That's just kind of how it goes when you've been living the pirate's life.
It's
because
true.
You're at sea, just drinking rum all day long, every day, and apparently getting killed by high-level ships and losing stamina.
Oh my god. Okay. This is the thing, right? Everything that is bad about Skull and Bones can almost all be attributed back to the fact that it's multiplayer.
Yeah.
You
okay.
know? Like, those high-level ships spawning because, like, higher-level players are coming through a low-level area and then they just don't fight them. And instead of, like, just despawning those ships, it's like, no, we're going to have these high-level ships just float around the outside of the starting town and one-shot everyone who comes anywhere near. And then a boat escort quest, because there's boat escort quests, just sailed directly through them, and I was so angry.
Okay. I guess to begin with Skull and Bones, which is the thing we're talking about, we will go to your Black Flag comparison article. How does that combat stack up? What's going on?
It's just, they've tried to put more variety in it by giving you different types of weapons. It's like you've got the cannon that just shoots like one after the other normally. You've got one that's like a big shotgun blast of cannons. Then you've got one that's like these weird torpedo things that like go under the water and explode from underneath the boat. And it's like, they're cool, but it doesn't change the fact that just combat isn't as fun as it was in Black Flag. You know, it's slower paced. A lot of the enemies feel way more tanky, especially like the guard towers. For some reason, when you're pillaging a location, you can't actually start getting loot from it until you clear all the hostiles, and the guard towers are just so tanky unless you've got like 3 people attacking them, you know.
So again, it's just everything is like tied to that multiplayer base, and it's just not as good. Would it be good? Would it be good if you had? Wait, can you have like a crew of multiple ships with friends? Yeah.
You can, yeah. I think officially you can form into a band of up to 3, but when you're like pillaging a location, you can like call for help and it will like ping everyone in the server, and
they'll just sail on over.
Yeah. Well, I think you can teleport there if you just accept.
Oh, fantastic. Well, it could be worse then, eh? It could be worse.
It could, but they've also obviously like MMOified and live serviceified a lot of the mechanics as well, which is just never a good idea. Yeah. Especially when they're based on a single player game that was already very good, you know?
Yeah, I do. I guess my biggest question right now is like, what's the goal? I mean, obviously get loot, bigger ship, but like, when do you reach the end game? What is the end game? What is it?
Well, like a lot of live service games, because it's just launched, there isn't a huge end game yet, because they're going to add it in seasons and updates and all this sort of thing, you know. There is a main quest line. This is the thing as well. They put such a heavy focus on multiplayer, but the majority of the content is PvE, you know? Like, PvP's there, you can just attack random boats as they sail past, but you don't really get much out of it, at least not that you wouldn't from attacking NPC ships that don't fight back as hard, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, there's a main story, but it's a Ubisoft game, so it's nothing special, you know?
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's just like, you're getting bigger ships to fight bigger ships to get bigger ships, you know?
Yeah.
And that's fine, but there doesn't feel like there's any direction or general purpose to it yet. But there will be like legendary pirate encounters and stuff like that added in the updates. They've already given us like a year-long roadmap, which, you know, it looks fun, but kind of who cares?
It is kind of who cares, huh? Yeah, it is. I want to know now, like, you said like the story's not amazing because it's just another Ubisoft game, but like, how does this actually stack up to Ubisoft games outside of Black Flag? Like, how does this stack up to Far Cry 6 or whatever? Assassin's Creed Mirage, that's it. I was trying to think whichever the last one was.
The narrative is very much not the focus, you know? It's like, between every mission you go to main guy who's running all the pirate things, and he gives you some vague context as to why you're going to go and shoot the ships you're going to shoot. And that's pretty much it. And occasionally he'll just ramble on about a story from his past, and you're like, okay, man, whatever.
Okay, man.
So yeah, there's really, even though the main quest is supposed to drive a lot of what you're doing, the narrative is like the most bare bones. We're just giving you some vague reason to go and do what you got to do.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Okay. So I feel like we've complained a lot now. Or you've complained a lot.
I've done most of it.
That's fine though. And now, tell me what's good about the game. What makes you say, "Oh yeah, this actually good"?
Well, the thing is the core pirate fantasy of just sailing around the ocean and fucking ships up and listening to sea shanties is just fun. You know, it taps into something that, like, the whole entertainment industry goes through phases of like being really obsessed with one thing. You know, it's like we were in the Viking phase like 5 years ago, and now it feels like we're very much in the pirate phase, where it's like all the YouTube musicians are doing sea shanty covers, and like everyone's trying to make pirate games and pirate media, and like it's really fun. You know, I'm not sick of it yet. You know,
Good.
and although the combat is slower than in Black Flag, the movement in the boats isn't as good, it is still decent. You know, it's not like they've completely ruined it. It's just they did it better before, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you like pirate media, do I have the suggestion of a lifetime for you, my friend? Yeah. No, so with that, how does it compare to what feels like its biggest comparison point, which is Sea of Thieves?
I think Sea of Thieves appeals to a slightly different side of the pirate fantasy, you know? It doesn't have as big a focus on combat. It's much more about just... Sea of Thieves is about vibing with people more than it is about treasure hunting or anything. That's what I've always found when I've played it. It's like, yeah, there are quests, and some of them are cool. I like Sea of Thieves quests, that stuff, but it's like, hey, let's just sell the seas and fuck shit up. And then you get into a fight with people, and it doesn't last very long, but it's always fun, because rather than just dealing with health bars going down and numbers going up, it's like, oh no, the ship's sinking, quick, get buckets and water and get out the ships and fix the holes. And it has that more chaotic energy, but Skull and Bones doesn't have that as much. It's
more
like,
like Sea of Thieves almost sounds like an organic social space.
A little bit, yeah. Well, because the perspective is different, you know. When you're playing Sea of Thieves with like 3 other friends, it's like the 4 of you are manning a boat yourselves, as where in Skull and Bones you've all got your own boat and you're like sailing around it, trying to kill bigger ships, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's your takeaway from Skull and Bones right now? Is it a banger?
No.
Okay.
There's definitely something that, like, if you liked Black Flag, then you are probably gonna like this, you know. And as far as like, if you've played Sea of Thieves and you've done everything there is to do in Sea of Thieves, I know they keep updating it, but if you're like, I don't want to play Sea of Thieves anymore, this is a fine substitute. But I don't know. I don't think it's gonna have the lifetime that Ubisoft want it to have, you know.
Sure.
I would not be surprised if the player base for this drops off quite dramatically in the next few months.
Ooh, okay. Well, maybe they'll pull out an amazing update.
Hey, it's possible. Look,
yeah, I could think of a pirate series they could cross over with to change the tides.
Yes, look, worse games have turned it around.
Have they?
None come to mind, but I'm sure they have.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you very much, Ryan Woodrow. Appreciate it as always. Skull and Bones. Don't know if I'll play it. Bye.